In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you over 10 hot tips to take you from slow to pro. If you're a producer or engineer and you think your mixes are taking too long, it's probably because you don't know enough shortcuts, haven't set up your project correctly, finding it hard to navigate around your project. So don't waste any more time and join me for today's video on Logic Pro shortcuts for faster mixing workflow. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Fabio from Noise here at Boombox, the home of collaboration. Before we crack on, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And just remember that these videos are possible because of Boombox, which is made by musicians for musicians. If you're like me and you need somewhere to store your files, be able to collaborate with clients and friends, musicians, vocalists, then Boombox is the home for you. You can safely and securely store all of your projects, as well as being able to quickly share them and change access permissions. Some other features that I really like are the great looking playlists that you can create and the even better artist profiles where you can make yourself available for hire or discover new talent in your local area. It's completely free to sign up and will even hook you up with 4 gigabytes of storage. The link is in the description below. Tip number 1 is going to make a huge difference from the get-go. Now, what you want to do is go to Logic Pro, Settings, and then you're going to go down to View. From here, you're going to go to Tracks, and you're going to make sure that track color has auto assign 96 colors selected. Now, what this means is that when you drag in MIDI or stems, just like this, it will automatically assign colors. So let's do create new tracks, hit OK. And then rather than them being one bland color, we can see this change in gradient from top to bottom. Another cool setting, which is more for recording than mixing, but very similar, is if you go to record and then go to recording settings, make sure that automatically colorized takes is on. This means that every time you record a new take, it will create a new color, just like we saw with the auto track coloring. Tip number 2, you may not like the way Logic has colored things and you want to do it yourself. Maybe you want to color all the drums yellow and all the instruments blue. If you press Option and C on this window, this will give you the color palette, and then from here you can select a bunch of tracks and then select a color just like that. Additionally, you can also go to functions and then go to color track by region cell color. You'll notice the color comes up here on the left hand side, and this is also reflected in the mixer. If you have a selection of tracks that you want grouped together and summed to the same bus, all you have to do is select them like so. Click on one, hold shift to gather the selection that you're after, or alternatively you can click on one and then hold command and select them like so. Once you have the track/channels that you want, all you have to do is hit Command, Shift, and D. You'll want to create a summing stack rather than a folder stack, because a summing stack will assign all these tracks to the same bus. Then from here, you can control the overall volume and effects on this channel. Sum 11 is of no use to me. I need to know what's in this bus, but I don't want to have to double click every time I want to rename something. So if you have a channel selected, all you need to press is Shift and Enter, and then it will select it automatically, and I can name this Instruments. Once I'm done typing, if I still have that selected, I can hit Tab to go to the next channel and so on. When I'm done, all I have to do is press Enter. When stems come in, I frequently find that they're too low in volume. And rather than just turning up the output, what I want to do is increase the gain of the clip. So I'm quite likely to take an action that looks like this. I'll select them all. I'll then drop down this region menu on the top left-hand corner so I can increase or decrease the gain for all the regions selected. However, if you're happy with the gain at which the regions are, you can also just increase the waveform size like this by clicking on this button, which won't affect the volume, but only the view. If you want to increase or decrease this, click and hold, and then you'll have a slider for additional waveform zoom. Some people are lucky enough to have 2 screens, one with the arrangement view and one with the mixer view. By the way, if you want to know how to bring that up quickly like I just did there, that's Command and number 2. But if you're on a single screen, it's most likely that you're going to want to bring the mixer up and down. And all you have to do for this is press X to open and X to close. At some point when you're mixing, your window may become clogged up with different effects and plugins. Quick way of minimizing these or hiding them is just by pressing V. You can then bring them back to your screen by pressing V again. But you might actually just want to close them completely, in which case all you have to do is hold Shift and then press X on any of the plugin windows like this. When you're in the mixer, you might find that you want to create a new bus. Maybe you want to create an auxiliary send for effects, or you just want to group things to a bus without using a summing stack. The shortcut for this is Control N. You can do this as many times as you want, and it will automatically create new auxiliary channels. One thing to note is that you do have to select the bus yourself, increase the volume, and name it. Now you're probably wondering how I got the volume to flick up to unity gain i.e. 0, so quickly. This is another shortcut that I use all the time. If you hold Option and click on faders or panning, just like so, this will reset everything to its default value, which is usually 0. This also works if you have a selection of parameters that you're looking to reset. For example, I have these channels which all have different volumes and panning. I have them selected and then I hold Option, click, they reset to 0, and exactly the same for the panning. This shortcut doesn't just apply to the mixer, it also works with all the other Logic plugins. And this brings us to our final shortcut. We also have the solo shortcut using Option. So if you have a bunch of channels which are soloed, but let's say you only want this soloed without the other ones, hold Option and then click S. And you'll see that the solo deactivates from the other channels and activates on your selection. And it's exactly the same for the mute button. Before we go, I want you to do a few things. I want you to comment down below with what your favorite Logic Pro shortcut that makes your life easier. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget that these videos are possible because of Boombox. To sign up for free, link is in the description below, and become a part of the new music industry standard for file storage, sharing, collaboration, artist profiles, and much, much more. It's been a pleasure as always, and I'll see you very soon. Peace.